Hello everyone. We are back with back with Can for round uh 12, 12 or 13. Um, I'm gonna say round 13, I believe it is, for this season. We have got 18 drivers today, a couple of reserves as well for everyone. So, uh, we have got some cars out on track. Let's go grab everything up and see who is going to be first to set that time. And it does seem to be NASCAR who will do the opening lap of the session. Did Exception just leave? I'm not too sure now. Okay, we are restarting the session. A couple of issues, unfortunately. So yeah, we will get this underway properly very soon. We will be back. Oh, right. Hello, everyone. Sorry about this. We've just had to restart everything for a couple of lobby setup issues, I believe it was. So, yeah, as you have been able to see here for the last few moments, we have got the driver standings for you all to see. It is still fairly close between the top few drivers roughly with only 4 rounds to go, including this one. It is pretty much either it is either down to Jensen or Edgar for this title by the looks of it. So yeah, 4 rounds to go, including this, plus 4 rounds to go, 5 races overall, with a sprint race for next week. So it is probably gonna be looking fairly good for these next few weeks. And a quick glance over to the constructors while we just start loading up for this session around 20 seconds until we get going. So Constructors has well and truly on top at the minute, only 43 points between themselves and Aston Martin, and in a much bigger gap between the second and third place at the minute. So the Haas and Ferrari teams all to play for, and probably a nice open fight heading in to especially this race of Spain, and no doubt if all goes well for them, potentially further races down the line. So here we go then, we are underway in this qualifying session, and let's see how this plays out. A fair few drivers straight on track for qualifying. A nice 18 minutes of quick action to come. MJ the first driver out on track in the Aston Martin today, for, I want to say he was let's double check that before I get things wrong. Yeah, MJ racing for Aston Martin as a reserve today, along with Shifty in the Racing Bulls as well for this race. So 2 reserves here, 18 drivers all in all, so hopefully a nice competitive race for everyone today. We've got MJ now on his flying lap, first flying lap of the session, closely followed by McLeod, Clint and Exception, and I believe that is also the second Williams out on an outlap. Just happen to be careful now of the quicker cars behind. MJ's opening lap looking fairly good so far. This blimmin' chair actually needs to shut up. So MJ looking fairly good, heading down to the end of the second sector. Decent sector 1 there. MJ, decent sector 2, sorry, for MJ. McLeod selling a very respectable sector 2 time as well, so fairly close between these guys at the minute. How is Clint getting on? He has pulled over to the side of the track at the moment. So MJ across the line for the first flying lap of this session. McLeod jumps over into P1 by 7 tenths, and as we go on board Exception, he just has a moment at the final corner and goes off. That is extremely unfortunate for him, and it is Coach, oh my days, some fairly quick times coming in now. Some fairly close times coming in now. Drivers setting times all over the place at the minute. But now in his flying lap, he is currently the quickest overall in Sector 1. This could well be promising and aiming for the front row alongside Jensen potentially there, who at the minute has a 1:12.4 and is 6 tenths quicker than his closest rival right now of McLeod. But through Sector 2 he goes, 51.3 overall, a fairly respectable and a decent second sector there. Coming around the final two corners now for Buddha in this Williams. He's about to cross the line any moment now. How close can he be to Jensen's time? At the minute he is into second place, but only just. It is 40 milliseconds between himself and McLeod. At the minute 6 tenths is still the gap between P1 and P2. So Jensen really setting time screens alight with that opening laps in this session. Riles in the Mercedes here, on his outlap, about to start his fly lap. Got a decent helping hand there from the Ferrari ahead of him on the way round to the final corner. So it is Riles on his way to the first corner, takes that pretty nicely round turn 2, and has a very good opening few corners there through to the end of sector 1 he goes. It is a 21.539 for the Mercedes driver. He is one of only a few cars on fast laps at the minute, and so far this looks fairly tidy from the Mercedes. Doesn't look to have been many mistakes whatsoever from this driver at the minute. Through sector 2 he goes. It is an unbelievable 50.9 for the opening 2 sectors there. Quickest in sector 2 so far. Had a moment on this start of S3 at the minute. Could that have been costly for his overall lap time? And down to the start finish line he goes. It is into second at 12.9, half a second behind Jensen. This is getting a bit closer. Is the track evolution starting to help drivers out here? NASCAR unfortunately invalidated his lap there. Where is Mike on track at the minute? He's just heading out for a lap. Who else have we got? We've got MJ and I believe Exception just starting another lap as well. Here we go then. Exception currently a 16.3. A huge improvement needed for the Red Bull driver. We know Exception has got some good one lap pace at times throughout the season. So what can he show us here in Spain? It's looked fairly good through the first sector, 21.7, half a tenth up on his time at the minute. Apparently quickest through sector 1 as well, so this is a good improvement for the Red Bull driver of Exception. As we know, he had that bit of a moment on the exit of the final corner in his opening lap. So through sector 2 we go, 51.1 overall, 2.5 tenths up on his previous time so far. It is all in this final sector where that time is going to come back. So here we go. What can Exception do? He's got he's got Alex just ahead of him. By the looks of it, is right on track. So Exception smashes it into P2 at 12.6, only 2.5 tenths behind, or just under 2.5 tenths behind Jensen at the minute. That time from the Haas driver is starting to look fairly unbeatable at the minute. He's been there for the majority of the session, and that lap has absolutely done him wonders so far. Still, he is going out for a second lap flying lap in a moment, so we'll see how he does at the minute. Let's jump to Alex in the Sauber, currently on the tail end of his flying lap. So how will he get on? He has got, I was going to say he was giving his teammate a bit of a helping hand as well. Badger is currently 15th. Alex is about to go into third place at 12.9 as well. Some flying times. Some rapid times coming in now. 12.4, 12.6, 12.9 and a 12.9 for the top 4 drivers. This is potentially going to be another close qualifying here. We have gone on board Edgardo for his end of this lap, and it is third fastest. Buddha goes into P1. He is 30 milliseconds quicker than Jensen a minute. That is another rapid time from these drivers. Jensen though has just started his second flying lap of this session, running the Texas livery on the Haas this time around. Looking quite nice on this lap. The livery looking fairly decent as well on the car. Through sector 2 we go with Jensen, looking very good so far. How good is it going to be? It's given him just over 20 milliseconds on this lap so far. Not quite enough to currently retake P2, but he's got 2 more corners to contend with. One final run down to the start finish line, and off he goes. DRS open. How much is it going to be? It's 7 milliseconds. It's not quite enough for Jensen to really take provisional pole, but it is enough just to slightly. I can't really say just about enough. It's barely enough to make a dent in the time above. These two are extremely close, so 12.4s with Buddha and Jensen. 7 has just gone to P3 at the minute. Who else have we got on track at the minute? NASCAR on a flying lap. Will on a flying lap as well. He's actually invalidated. Unfortunate for him. NASCAR with 10th up on his time. Fairly quick through that second sector as well. So what can be done for the Racing Bull driver at the minute? Currently sat in P10 so far. So we'll cross the line into P5 for NASCAR 12.7. These times are getting nice and quick now as well. Nice and close for the majority of this top 7, currently separated by half a second. Here is one of the McLaren drivers of McCoy through the final final part of sector 2, but he is a fair bit down this time, so I'm not too sure McCoy is going to be able to do too much. No, so he does come into the pits, and fair enough for the McLaren there. Coach on an outlap, looking to where's his name gone? Coach, there we go. There he is. So NASCAR heads into the pits. Coach, only driver currently. What we have got actually Mike on a flying lap at the minute, I believe. So far, 11th fastest for the Red Bull driver. Not too far behind his teammate at the minute. A nice time to try and go for Mike. Half a second up on his previous lap at the minute. So he is getting much closer to that 112, that mid 112 mark at the minute. Round the final few corners for Mike in this Red Bull, and off he goes down to the run, down for the run on the final, after the final corner. Ninth fastest lost a little bit of time by the looks of it in that final sector, but it's enough to jump into the top 10 for P9 at the minute. Coach just having a bit of a chill lap for a moment and then oddly goes off. It's not like Coach for those sorts of moments, really. So McLeod, the only driver now on an actual flying lap here, 10th fastest, 13.084 for the McLaren driver. What is he able to do on this lap? Can he knock a chunk of time off his current one? Plenty of drivers now are coming out to set their final laps of the session, I would guess. So here we go. McLeod, currently P10. How is he going to do through the rest of this session? Rest of this lap? He's got 2 minutes of the session to go. Plenty of drivers on their way out now. Almost half the grid off to do final runs in this quaddie. And how many surprises will we get, I wonder? McLeod, 9th fastest, takes a small amount off his time. Not enough to propel himself high into the top 5. But overall, a very good lap still. So, Coach and MJ on laps here. Coach looking to improve on his 13th place at the minute. Round the final corner, 2 corners we go for the Alpine driver. Cross the line, will be the first driver to finish their laps, and it is only enough to stay 13th fastest. Who's just going to cross the line? Is that? It is Alex who's just going to cross the line. Badger is across the line at the minute. Logan on a flying lap here at the minute. His teammate McCoy as well on a just started flying laps. Buddha out on another flying lap as well for this session. Doesn't think that P1 is safe. Jensen is just behind as well. This is really gonna hotten things up here between many of these guys. Exception, currently P4, has retired from the session. That is unfortunate for him. McLeod also retires from this session. Logan goes into P12 with his final lap of the day. His teammate in P15 at the minute is on a slow lap. That is his qualifying over. Alex smashing it into P1 with a 1:12.1. That is unbelievable. That we were just about to go towards some of these top drivers here as well. Alex has smashed it. Jensen, I believe, is just behind at the moment as well. But with a 12.3, that is extremely close to Alex at the minute. Jensen, next driver to try and take this pole position away from Alex. It's only enough for P2 for Jensen. 7 up into 3rd place. That is close lap for Giles there. And Clint is qualifying is over. And everybody else has crossed the line for the end of this session. That was extremely close between some of these guys. Alex has unbelievably taken pole position by 1.5 tenths in this session. Jensen in P2 in the Haas, looking strong once again for Can-Am here as well. Alex comes back and smashes pole. Jensen is just doing what he can to get ahead of the rest of everyone for these qualifying sessions. Riles looking extremely strong round Spain at the minute in P3, and Buddha rounding off the second rider grid for this race in 4th place. Some extremely strong laps for everyone here today. Not much separating the top 11 drivers either, and what a race we'll have on our hands very, very soon. Many incidents either. I am very surprised that many drivers invalidated laps there, so we're going to go have a couple of minutes while everyone gets ready, and we will be back very, very soon. So we did have an extremely quick turnaround for this race. So as we know, it is Alex on pole, Jensen in second, Lars in third, Buddha in fourth, Exception in fifth, had an unfortunate qualifying, a few issues. Clint just couldn't quite piece it together in this session, has looked good through most qualifiers this season. NASCAR in 7th place, another decent performance for him. Jay had an unbelievable week at the last few races, currently in P8, a little bit behind his teammate at the minute, but we know Jay has decent race pace and could well make it through this grid fairly quickly. There is your strategy: a soft medium medium or a medium medium hard. McLeod in P10 for the Mercedes, Mike in the Red Bull in P11, Will in P12, Logan in 13th place for the McLaren there, the Alpine of Coach in 14th place, the other McLaren of McCoy here in 15th. MJ, one of our reserves for today, in 16th place for the Aston Martin team. Badger, a tough qualifying for the Sauber driver, in 17th place. Our second reserve driver today of Shifty in 18th place. And rounding off the grid is Ninja. Unfortunately missed qualifying, and there he is, leading the rear of the track though, of the grid in last place. Righty ho, Here we go. We are underway here in Spain for this Can-Am race. We have got off to a fairly decent start. Alex just setting a very good, setting off very well there, and leading this race already by half a second. We've got a bit of a moment there at the back of the grid between Will and MJ. That is unfortunate for those two drivers, and a tough way to start this race. We've got a few movers as well. Jay already up to 6th position, an extremely good start there for the Haas. And let's see what everyone has started on for this race. It is the top 9 drivers on the medium tyre. Coach and NASCAR on the softs, McLeod on the hard tyres. The next 4 drivers on the soft tyres, Will and MJ on the mediums. Badger they're having a moment for himself on the soft tyre. So plenty of different strategies playing out here. Exception going extremely wide out of the final corner there. Not exactly what you want to be doing for this opening part of the race. It is close between Jensen and Alex at the minute, half a second at the moment. They have pulled away from the rest of this grid for the time being, but are just having a huge train of cars behind at the minute, all the way from Lyles down to McLeod in 12th place. So roughly 9 or 10 cars behind him. It's going to have a hard task keeping a few of them behind. Lyles with DRS in a minute, as it is active this up. So who will try and make Oh my days, what is going on there between Exception and Jay, between the Red Bull and the Haas? That was not looking like fair racing between them two. Mike just having a moment there in the Red Bull as well. Unfortunate for him. Jensen and Alex is still fairly close. Not many movers in this top 6 at the minute. Jay looking the best so far, making another move up the inside of Exception. Exception having the inside line for turn 2, and just a little bit of a hiccup between the two of them there, making some small bits of contact. NASCAR extremely close to Exception's teammate Mike at the minute, almost level as they head in to, they are level as they head into turn 5 there, and it is NASCAR who is just behind, still between the two drivers. He is now though under attack from Edgar in P10, trying to make some moves for some higher positions. We are just trying to look out for other battles as we head through this Grand Prix at the minute. We are seeing McCoy is ahead of his teammate, so moved up a few positions. Will Ninja just making a few swapping some positions as well. Will had a bit of a tough start in this race, but back up to 15th place. Jensen, though, is in the lead of this race, has had a time penalty on the exit of the final corner. That is going to be costly for him in this race. Has he got the pace out front to put away from Alex? These two, though, looking very, very strong between them. And it is McCoy having a tough battle here with Will and oh dear. That is unfortunate for McCoy himself, and Shifty just coming to slight blows there, and not exactly what either driver's going to want in this early stage of the race. So Jenson 15.9 fastest lap. It is extremely close between these two. Is Alex going to try and get a move back? No, not this. Not this time around for the Sauber driver, but just creeping up now for to the back of the lead, trying to creep up to the back of the leading two. He's 1.5 seconds behind. He has gained a few tenths over the past few laps, but does have Riles chasing him down half a second. The DRS will be available for him as he goes down the next straight down to turn 7, 8, 9, 10, I believe this is, for these two corners, I want to say. 7, just not able to get much closer than a few tenths between these two, and Logan has had a moment there that is extremely unfortunate for the McLaren driver, and that will be a safety car in this race and gives exception. Holy moly, a load of drive-throughs have just popped up, I believe, for a few of them. Let's just have a quick look. So yeah, Exception, Badger and Will all on drive-through penalties there for so safety car is still out, as we can all see, probably around another lap, maybe. I would say maybe one more lap after Can't really say after this one because there's not much left of it. Probably 2 more laps then after this one. We've only got Ninja to catch up, so maybe not even 2 laps. So with this early safety car, we have seen roughly half the grid jump on to fresh tyres for the remainder of this race. Ninja has caught up now and probably will actually go in now, end of this lap. So what a bonus for all of us and all of the drivers. They can now get back to what they like to do best. So there we go, safety car is in this lap. We are gonna be underway for the final, I'll work this out now, 25 laps. Extremely close down, extremely slow towards the back of this grid. It is going to be Jensen now getting us away. He has got underway extremely quickly. Alex was not caught napping, neither was Buddha or many of the cars behind. Will getting off to a bit of a slow start, looking at this timing screen there. So the top 7 all getting out very, very quickly for the rest of this race. We are going to have a extremely strong battle as well between these two by the looks of it. Neither boxed under safety car, which is very surprising. No one has served their drive-throughs yet from when the safety car come out. So could well get extremely close with those guys. They are pretty spread out at the minute, but we will see Will, Exception and McCoy. I want to say it's them guys that need to, no sorry, not McCoy, it is Badger that has to drive through. They are already quite spread out between where they are now and how quickly they can get through the pit lane. Obviously no stops for them, it is just a straight drive in the slow lane there, or fast lane, whatever you want to call it, in the pits. So Jensen still holding off Alex and Buddha for the top spot at the minute. Has got a 3-second penalty to contend with, so needs to try and break away from at least Buddha if he can in this 24 laps to go. So it's gonna be tough. Will leave Jensen just somewhat hoping that it would all pay off for him. Let's head further down the grid. We've got Clint close behind Jay at the minute. Just had DRS on the to the car ahead and not able to quite get close enough. Has a bigger DRS zone on the way. Edgar also has DRS that's going to help in him pulling away from McLeod behind. Already a second behind, 2 seconds almost between 7th and 8th place. So what can these guys do? Clint just looking to try and make something happen between himself and Jay. Not able to do anything this time, but it could well get closer as we head round this lap. NASCAR extremely close as well to the other Red Bull here, the leading Red Bull at the minute. Exception just having a tough race at the moment. So NASCAR chasing down the sister team of Mike's Red Bull. He is right on the back of McLeod though at the minute, so DRS is about to be available for them. Is any moves going to happen here? Not able to be done this time around. McLeod just having enough straight line speed to defend from the Racing Bull and the Alpine. MJ though is fairly close behind these guys, has got DRS as well. So with him, McCoy and Ninja all going for this, Mike is just got past NASCAR there, and NASCAR is about to get past McLeod. He makes a move round outside of turn 1 and through turns 2 and 3. He is clear, and a few attempts up the road now. It is going to be down to Mike and Coach. How can they do it? It is looking like Mike is going down the inside of the Mercedes there. They are side by side as they go through turn 5. And who will come out on top here? They are still going side by side through 6, 7 and 8 as we go. And it is just McLeod creeping ahead for position there. And we've got... It is Jay. He's had a moment, and it is going to be a pit stop for the Haas driver, dropping down to 14th place now from, I believe, a top 5 position. This is a good battle so far between these drivers, and we've got Jay and McCoy boxing now for fresh tires, with Mike making a move around McLeod there into P8. NASCAR, though, while these two have been battling, has managed to pull 2.5 seconds away from those guys. Coach up into P10 at the minute, so anything, he's having it worth. He's had a very good race so far. Difficult qualifying for the Alpine driver, currently in a point scoring position, just gets tagged through from the Ferrari of Ninja, and they both managed to keep it in a straight line and continuing on with their race. So MJ now just gets brought in closer to the Ferrari now, with Coach also getting DRS on McLeod. This could be difficult now for a few of these drivers to get past. We have got a side-by-side action going on now between Alex and Jensen. Jensen just creeping ahead, retaking this lead in the race. These two have swapped places a couple of times over the past couple of laps. But with these two battling, it is bringing Buddha and the Royals much closer to mount an attack on these two. If these two are gonna fight the rest of this race, this could well be a 4-way battle for the win. We are almost halfway through this race, so if the action we've had between multiple drivers so far, as coach is trying to make a move on McLeod there, and it's just trying to squeeze past. We've got moves going on in the top two as well, as a bunch of drivers start to box on lap 15 of this race. It is Alex, but Riles all in the pits so far for their respective teams. It does leave Jensen 3.5 seconds, almost 4 seconds out in front. Coach into P6 now with a decent move on McLeod, and them two just giving us some good battles. So provisionally, Clint up into P3 on with a chance of DRS. The detection zone is just around this corner. Will he have enough pace to stay within a second? He's managed to do that round them corners there. So DRS available for both Clint and NASCAR there. I didn't think NASCAR was going to get a chance of DRS a moment ago. So for him to have pulled just over half a second to P3, that is an extremely good job around them few corners, as it is not the easiest part to gain time sometimes. So it does bring Clint and NASCAR now into the top two as Jensen boxes. Where will that bring him out for Alex and other drivers around? Here we go. Here is Alex and Buddha. They are extremely close. It is gonna be Alex just ahead of Jensen, and Buddha is just ahead of Jensen as well. These two are side by side, making a bit of contact between the two drivers, and it is Buddha who gets ahead of Jensen through turn 3 there, and this is now gonna be a straight fight to the finish for these three drivers. Alex currently net P1, Buddha net P2, Jensen unfortunately losing out a bit there, currently net P3, but 7 Riles, looking probably the worst off out of those four drivers, in 11th so far, net P4, and has lost a fair amount of time to Jensen. He is a second and a half at the minute. NASCAR currently in P1, taking these mediums the extra mile at the minute. How many laps has he done on those? Because I believe he boxed just before the safety car. 11 laps on. He boxed at the safety car, so that is 11 lap old medium tyres for the Racing Bull driver. Mike as well, 11 lap old tyres. Could Mike attempt to take them tyres to the end of the race? It is a massive unknown on that one. We were predicted a 2-stop race. Many drivers have taken the option of a 2-stop. Some drivers looking for a 1-stop, if it is at all possible to them. So let's jump to P5. And a battle so far between McLeod coach MJ Ninja in these positions. MJ ruins that battle for us and goes into the pits. Well, that was rude. Jensen, smashing in the fastest lap of the race, has really caught up to some of these guys. Riles just starting to drop off a fair bit now, and it is looking like Alex Buddha Jensen could well be our potential top 3, depending on how or when the drivers ahead box. This could be a fun watch for these on these guys. Let's go here to Clint. On the back of the Red Bull at the minute, anything for Clint to be able to do is gonna be a bonus so far, but he is a bit too fast to make any sort of attempt there on the Red Bull driver. Still, with 15 laps to go, 6 attempts behind, and I believe exception on slightly exception on the older tyre, so could well pay dividends here. Here we go then. Clint making a move, quickly gets ahead of exception and into P10 for the Williams driver, and that tyre deficit was gonna take advantage at some point soon between those two. McLeod 8 seconds behind at the minute. I don't think that's going to be 8 seconds for very long. Brand new fresh mediums on at Mercedes against the 14 lap old hards. It's not going to be, unfortunately, it's not going to be much of a battle for exception. So Alex already making it past the Ferrari of Ninja there on much older, much fresher tyres on the Sauber, who is also very quickly on the back of Coach. How quickly will he make a move? He does play it safe, stays behind the Sauber driver. He is the Sauber driver. He stays behind the Alpine driver for the time being, but it does get past Ninja though as well, with Jensen just trying to creep round the outside of turn 4. Ninja on the better line though, through staying to the inside there and just trying to stay and not let Jensen have the chance to creep ahead, but unfortunately doesn't quite work for how Ninja wanted it to play out. Did manage to hold Jensen up a little bit though, does get DRS on the Haas driver and manages to stay within that second for a minute. Another DRS detection coming up just before the end, or just before the final corner for Ninja to try and get to, and I don't think it's quite possible this time around. It is unfortunate for the Ferrari there, and with 13 to go, Mike is seriously pushing it on them hard tyres. 15 laps he's been on them so far. Coach on the 15 lap old hards as well. Could those two drivers potentially be making a stop towards the end? Alexo has closed that gap by a second already this lap. We're not even through sector 2 yet, and he's already down to 2.1 seconds. He could well have DRS come at the end of this lap, but there is a bit of lap traffic ahead. We have got I believe that is Will just ahead of the Sauber at the minute, and as we see ghostly on, so hopefully won't hold anyone up for too long. Mike jumping into the pits. That is an interesting, well, that is a good call to be honest, in all honesty. With 11 laps to go, this could be crucial for Mike's race. He is currently 7th at the minute, Edgar 10 seconds behind and dropping a few more places there. That is a bit unlucky for Mike. Has he just pushed them hard tyres a little bit too far in this race. Has it cost him a bit too much time for the remaining 11 laps? He had come out in P11, so could have worked quite nicely there for him. Jenson, with his 3-second penalty at the minute, is 2.5 seconds almost ahead of Coach. Looking like an interesting podium here. Can Jenson just pull a bit more gap away while setting the fastest lap at a 15.5 at the minute? That is a good lap for the guy in 7th place. He's just got past Coach as well for that 4th position. How many drivers are fairly close at the minute? Let's have a look at this battle between Mike and McLeod for this 10th position. And Alex has dropped to P6. I believe he's had a moment earlier on in this lap. Edgar just having a moment coming up to the second to last corner. That is unfortunate for him. We've got a yellow flag round on the exit of the final corner as well. I believe that was Will just letting some drivers go past, and fair play to him there. Riles just gaining some speed now on the hard tyres in the Mercedes, down to 1.9 seconds from almost 2.5 seconds. So in this could well be a crucial few laps for 7, and his points in this race. 3rd at the minute, Jenson with, I believe it is 3 seconds of so yeah, Jenson on 3 seconds. Riles up to 1.5, well, down to 1.5 seconds gap. That has been a brilliant lap to close that much of a gap for the Mercedes. We've got Ninja just jumping into the pits now. Not many battles going on at the minute. We've got probably the closest drivers so far in Alex versus Coach and Jenson versus Buddha for that legal race, and it is Coach versus Alex for P4 at the minute. There we go then. Alex has gained a huge amount of time on the Alpine ahead of him. Not enough to have the advantage with the DRS open. We'll get another attempt down the main straight. Riles now half a second behind 7. Half a second behind himself. That's not possible. Riles half a second behind Jenson, who has DRS on the Ferrari, the lap Ferrari ahead. Alex has just jumped past as well. So a few movers on this lap. Buddha 1.1 seconds ahead of the leading two drivers at the minute. Ninja, can he try and make a move on the Red Bull of Exception? We are heading down the main straight into turn one we go. Will it be possible for the Ferrari driver? It does lock up and there's some contact between the two of them there. It is Ninja just losing out there to Exception for P11, and that is unfortunate for the Ferrari. He will get another chance in a moment on this lap, so we'll see how that goes in a second. It's half a second between them. Is it going to be enough to give him the DRS advantage? So, Ninja versus Exception once again. Is he gonna try and make a move this time? Goes to the outside of turn one this time and makes the move stick. Gets past nicely. And that was a very good overtake for the Ferrari driver of Ninja. He's got 6 laps. Can he try and get close to MJ in that time remaining? He's 9.9 seconds behind. Will he have the pace to get it done? With McCoy taking another pit stop there for the McLaren team. It is Jensen and Buddha extremely close. Is Jensen going to make a move down the inside of the Williams driver into turn one? It was gonna be all down to who broke latest, and it was Jensen just edging that moment. And Riles also extremely close. Ninja getting a 3-second time penalty there, and that is unfortunate for him. All that hard work to try and get past Exception, he got it done. He was closing the gap to MJ. NASCAR 2 tenths behind Clint at the minute. Racing Bull versus Williams. What will happen down in DRS? Is the Racing Bull going to have enough? He dummies to the inside, dummies to the outside, stays behind the Williams there. And could he get past this time? Every time we've seen someone make a move into turn 10, I believe it is, they normally have got past into turn 1. Is he going to be able to do it? NASCAR versus Clint. He does make it possible on turn 1 there. A decent move for NASCAR. Makes it look fairly simple down the inside. A few drivers have struggled trying to make the moves there. And that's obviously not down to them. That's been down to some crazy defending, but also at times some very good defending from everyone else. So could Clint try and get past this time around? We are keeping an eye on that top 3 at the minute. But
Pizza? Oh my god, you kidnapped Bucko. I'm so sorry, Bucko.
What's up, Bucko?
What's up, Bucko?
they're still racing, by the way.
Oh shit!
Duracell's coming!
after getting kidnapped by them lot, NASCAR has defended fairly well from Clint trying to make the move back to P5. So it is still them two in the same order they were before them crazy people. So don't really know which battle to go to at the minute. There's not too many taking place. A fair few drivers are close, but it is down to how well they can stay behind cars ahead of them and down. I can't remember what to say now. Oh dear. Coach has just unfortunately not been able to stay with Mike through unfortunately not been able to stay with Mike through the final part of that bit of the track. We are currently though watching Clint aiming for this P5 position. Close battle with NASCAR at the minute. They are still has just dropped. NASCAR has just gone off though, and that does give Clint the chance to take P5 in this race, and that is an unfortunate moment for NASCAR. He's had a good race so far, and 6th place at the minute still. Mike or 5 seconds behind almost, so hasn't really got too much to worry about. And Badger jumps into the pits for this, and NASCAR just getting elbows out there, trying not to let Clint defend to how he wanted to there. He does pick up a 3-second penalty before making that move, so he will potentially drop back to 6th there. So it was a make or break moment for NASCAR then. And we have got Riles and Buddha very close. Riles making the move down there outside, I believe that was, but nothing able to be done. Buddha just trying, Buddha just retaking 2nd place. Another attempt for Riles down the main straight. Can he take it on? Take P2 here, down the outside it goes. A lock will slightly going through turn 2. A little bit of a push and shove between a few of them. We've seen that quite a lot. Oh, and that is unlucky for Riles there. Just having a bit of a moment on the Exeter turn, through the Exeter turn 4. Not what he would have wanted this in this race, but he's still 6 seconds or 5 seconds ahead of Alex. We are on the final lap of this race as well. It is going to be Jensen crossing the line in P1, but where he finishes is likely to be a different story. He needs to gain 6 attempts in these final couple of corners. How well will this go for Jensen? Buddha looking pretty quick through that final part of the track as well. There he is. It is Jensen that takes P1, crosses the line in P1, drops to P2. Buddha is your winner here in Spain, and a fantastic race between all four of the drivers that started in the top four, they all had great races. But I want to say his first win here for Tier 2, but I will properly check that shortly. Alex in 4th, Clinton 5th, NASCAR in 6th, Mike in 7th, Coach in 8th, McLeod in 9th, MJ in 10th, Exception in 11th, Ninja 12th, Edgar in 13th, Jay and McCoy are still currently out on track. Jay will bring it home in 14th place, McCoy in 15th, Will, Badger and Shifty all unfortunately being lapped in this race, and your only DNF coming from Logan in the McLaren, unfortunately for him. Well, that was an interesting one, to say the least. At times, a good race for the majority, an unfortunate race for some, and plenty of crazy moments throughout that race as well. Well, no, not as many crazy moments as some races this season, but definitely a few unfortunate ones, shall we say. A lot of warnings in this race, a fair few pit stops as well, and we will be back, everyone, for next week's race is a sprint round Australia. So thank you everyone for watching. A fantastic result for Buddha in his win there. A great drive for all the drivers as well. And until next week, thank you everyone, and goodbye. Have a good one.